The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A group of martial law victims lauded Comelec Commissioner Rowena Guanzon for voting to disqualify Bongbong Marcos from the presidential race. The campaign against the return of the Marcoses and martial law, or KARMA, praised Guanzon for revealing that powerful forces are trying to influence the Comelec decision. The group also called on Commissioners Aimee Ferolino and Marlon Casquejo to, quote, stand on the right side of history. KARMA is among the petitioners seeking the disqualification of Marcos Jr. from this year's national elections. Here are other election stories we're watching today. Presidential aspirant Isko Moreno stands firm against legalizing abortion, even for rape victims. Moreno said in an interview that he believes in the sanctity of life. Instead, the Manila mayor stressed the need for society to be supportive and compassionate towards the victims of abuse. Vice President Leni Robredo says BPO workers should be given better benefits considering their shifting schedules. Robredo said in a virtual town hall that policies regarding work-from-home arrangements also need to be updated. And for his part, Senator Ping Lacson has denied claims saying he lacked groundwork and is therefore unfit to be the next president. Lacson said he has been fighting criminality both in the streets and in public office for the last 5 decades. Lacson served as PNP chief prior to being elected as senator. And radio station Dzwb has postponed its presidential interview with former Senator Bongbong Marcos today. In a statement, Dzwb said that Marcos Jr.'s team could not reach him in his location somewhere in Davao. Dzwb said they are working with the former senator's team for a new interview schedule. Meanwhile, presidential aspirant Leody de Guzman suggests having shorter work shifts in order to generate more jobs in the country. De Guzman told 1PH that a shorter work shift of 6 hours a day can provide more job opportunities for Filipinos. The labor leader also recommends a much bigger budget for agriculture to raise the income of farmers and fishermen.
Kaya kung tayo may 40 milyon na mga manggagawa ngayon, kung babawasan natin ng tig-2 oras, automatic mayroong available na mahigit 10 milyon na mga manggagawa. Magiging first shift, second shift, third shift, and fourth shift yung magiging operasyon ng ating ekonomiya, pagpapaunlad ng ating ekonomiya dito sa ating bansa.
We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The COVID-19 risk classification for countries will be suspended by February 1. Yep, this means there will be no longer any distinction, regardless if a traveler is arriving from a red, yellow, or green list country. Nograles said that vaccinated travelers just need to present a negative swab test taken within 48 hours before departure. Facility-based quarantine is also not required, but they have to self-monitor at home for symptoms for 7 days. Those unvaccinated and partially vaccinated will still be required to stay in government-prescribed isolation facilities. If tested negative on the 5th day, they will then be allowed to continue their mandatory 14-day quarantine period at home. A media law expert says that ABS-CBN can still challenge the awarding of its previous analog frequency to another company. Attorney Marichu Lambino told the chiefs that the granting of Analog Channel 2 to Advanced Media Broadcasting System can be taken to court over procedural questions. Analog Channel 2 was previously assigned to ABS-CBN. The Villar-linked AMBS was then awarded a Certificate of Public Convenience for digital TV and not an analog-free TV channel.
They gave away the analog free TV channel to, which is not included in the hearing, in the notice, and in the order. So that clearly is a violation of the executive order which created the NTC.
Meanwhile, former DICT Secretary Eliseo Rio says that ABS-CBN can still apply for additional or for a digital frequency if it is able to secure a franchise in the next administration. Rio says this can be the network's option amid the planned phase-out of analog TV and the migration to digital TV by 2023.
In other words, it doesn't really have to get its original frequencies, no?
Yes,
Because
sir.
any frequencies will work for that matter. We will only have digital TV on 2023. That's why they have to wait.
All eyes are on Filipino skier Asa Miller, who is the country's lone bet in the Beijing Winter Games. Gretchen Ho with the report.
No ice, no problem. Despite being a tropical country, the Philippines will compete in the upcoming Winter Olympic Games. Meet Asa Miller, the country's lone qualifier in Beijing.
Determination, hard work, and passion keep me going until I reach my goal for me and my country.
While many Filipino athletes chose to learn basketball or football, Asa grew up skiing. At 17, he already represented the country at the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games.
I began skiing when I was 1.5 years old, and I began ski racing when I was 8. Over time, my love for the sport grew. It really kicked off when I was 16, and I began ski racing for the Philippines.
Coming into his second Winter Olympics, Asa says he is more confident after learning a lot from his first Winter Games. Asa is set to see action in 2 events, the slalom and the giant slalom.
I'm very confident in my abilities and where my skiing is at the moment, and so I'm just hoping I can bring out the best of it on those competition days. Very proud, and I can't wait to show off and represent the Philippines at the Games.
For Asa, his biggest inspiration coming into the Games is Hydrin Diaz, who gave the Philippines its first Olympic gold through weightlifting.
While I don't have the same expectations for myself in competition, I definitely want to show my improvement and improve upon my placement.
With Asa being the lone Filipino in the entire Winter Games, young Filipino skiers have expressed their support for the 21-year-old.
We wish you all the very best. Thank you for breaking, the stereotype of
our country not being able to compete in Winter Olympics because of our situation.
We wish you all the best and always know that you have our support, the whole country's support, and we know that you will do really well.
I certainly hope my journey serves as inspiration. I hope that with this Olympic Games appearance, that trajectory continues and that more people realize that they can ski for the Philippines.
The Beijing Winter Olympic Games kicks off on February 4. Gretchen Ho, We Are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.